it's a very large class, first of all. There's 137 students in the class. So it's quite difficult to do active learning with them, say during class. That's why I was kind of relying on them doing it, themselves after at home or in the library or whatever. But this year I've tweaked things again, and rather than because they're all in person, um, to try and kind of improve things again, I've made use actually of previous Zoom recordings of my lectures. And I've asked them now to view maybe two or three videos of previous year's lecture, where I might go through a topic, view that in advance. And then when they show up to class, I'm kind of assuming they've looked at the theory. And so I can spend all my time with them doing examples and problems and so on. And so I think, well, from my point of view, it's much nicer. It's much more pleasant,
Yeah.
much more enjoyable. Rather than, spending all my 50 minutes discussing, the properties of some mathematical equation or something. I can just say, okay,
Mhm.
we're going to do an example now on, a signpost in a windy day and what the
Mhm.
stresses are going to be or whatever. And yeah, so and again, I don't feel as much pressure with the time because I don't have to get all this stuff covered in the 36 lectures or whatever because I know that they can just look at those videos and we can spend the time doing something else effectively. So the feedback from the students this year on that approach is very good. Most people are very happy with it, and whereas the attendance, I'm trying to encourage them to be there, obviously to attend the class, and I've decided this year I'm going to give them 10 sort of on the spot quizzes during the course of the trimester. So I can just spring a little test on them. There's very simple tests, but so I know who's there and so on because I do it the old-fashioned way now. I've asked them to write it down on a piece of paper and hand it to me at the end of class. So there's no taking it from home or anything like that. It's just you have to be there and that's it. So I've noticed now that there's about 73% attendance, which isn't bad for week five in the trimester. In previous years, the attendance fell off much more sharply. Um, so I'm kind of happy that the combination of this online resource that I've developed and this new approach, and trying to encourage them to actually be there in practice, is probably as good as I can do now at this stage. But short of actually learning it for them. So, but then with the new Centre for Learning, as you said, we have other opportunities then as to what we can do in future years. So we're thinking about that, of course, in engineering as well. The building is right beside our building as well, so that's very convenient for us. So we're trying to think again about how, particularly if say the labs could be transformed.